And they're nearly ready for a start. For the Christmas handicap, won last year by Border Time. 2 years ago it was AV8, ridden by Damien Holland. Furnish the last. Coming up to 18 now, Furnish. Runners are all in. 18 horses for the Christmas handicap. We're set to see some action. They close the gate behind Furnish and they're ready to run. Set for a start now. Attendants holding one of the tails in the middle of the line. Ready to go. Stand well. Light on. Racing in the Christmas. Spicedole from the inside out fast with more action. Rally away nicely, showing speed. Aptego, Marin Cheval. Romalada's coming over. Wyndham Special on the outside of the field, followed by Rekhabar, who couldn't get over. It's making some ground now up towards the lead, and further back came Ken Cheval, followed by Exalted Lad, Currency Rep, Furnish. Well back, Count Back with the ears ridden off on the inside of Keymark, and last of all is Dimness. 1,000 metres left to go. Romalada led, taken on by Wyndham Special, who drew a half length in front. Third now Sardonic, followed by Spicedole, Marin Cheval and Aptego wide around. More action. Then Rekhabar, who couldn't get in, followed by Real Time in the centre. Wider out In Peril, followed by Ken Cheval. Rally, they're running freely at the 700. Further back came Exalted Lad around. Currency Rep from Furnish. Keymark, Count Back, and Dimness starts a wide run. 600 metres to go in the Christmas, and Wyndham Special leads on the turn from Sardonic, followed by Romalada. Aptego let go by Creeks, moved around Marin Cheval, which is struggling a little for racing room, and here's Real Time getting to the outside, coming home well. Too much for Spicedole. Then In Peril, followed by Ken Cheval, switching wide at the 250, and the leader is Wyndham Special. On the outside, Real Time's coming quickly. Aptego couldn't match them. More action sneaking on the fence, and Ken Cheval's running on strongly. Then Rally. Ken Cheval's racing after Real Time. It's Real Time and Ken Cheval from Rally, and more action, but Ken Cheval forged to the lead, and Ken Cheval comes away and wins by a length and a half. Second Real Time, third in More Action. Then came Rally, followed by In Peril, Spicedole, Exalted Lad, Dimness, Aptego, Marin Cheval. Wyndham Special knocked up from Romalada likewise. Then Furnish, Count Back, followed home by Keymark, Never In It, followed by Currency Rep, Rekhabar and Sardonic amongst the tail enders. Number 8, Ken Cheval, ridden by Damien Holland for Mark Lewis. And they combined to win the race, what is now 3 years ago, with AV8 in 1999. And this horse, who ran a bottling second to Susie Gray in the City of Marion Stakes on the 15th of December, has risen to 1450 and charged past Real Time. So that particular form line was pretty good. Real Time, a last start third at Flemington to Accused, but before that ran fifth in the Durbridge, and fourth in that race was Ken Cheval. 8 wins from 10, or rather 13, 8 beaten 13. Number 1, More Action, a good run for 30. May have struggled a little for racing room over the final stages, but that was a terrific second up performance. Fourth, Number 5, Rally, kept fresh for this race. 8, 13, 1, 5. 1:25 and 46 is the time. It's very quick. AV8 ran 1:24.97 to set a course record here in 1999. So they are well, less than half a second outside that. Home in 34.95, a length and a half by a neck. 8, 13, 1 and 5. The winners by Ken Vane out of Perfect Idea. So it's a local win in more ways than one. Ken Vane standing in the Adelaide Hills. Raced by V Finlay, V Smith, S Daly, I Rowett, J Jones and Miss A Leonard, and Mark Lewis and Damien Holland combining to win the Christmas handicap.
OK, Hilton, thanking you. Ken Cheval saluting, and what an impressive win. Real Time loomed up to win. More Action, honest as ever. Second of the features at Caulfield, not far away. Reece Wheeler rides Storm Edition.
Well, Reece, Storm Edition, you've ridden him his last couple.
El Caballo can certainly race that way, but this is a smaller field. A nibble for Delirious. He'll like it better with a sting out too, and the way the track would be now, it should suit him. He's been disappointing as he's been stepping up in distance. Panoramic Lad can race up on the speed, and so too can Storm Edition, of course, but it has got plenty of weight. El Caballo, best back runner, Rosebeat, has drifted right out at each call. El Caballo clearly the favourite on track. New Trader coming up, Storm Edition going in. It's been racing well. Only 3 out. El Caballo, best back runner in the race. It goes in. Rosebeat has been easy. And New Trader still away from the line. He won this race last year. New Trader And Raptor, who won earlier today, trainer Greg Urell has the Australian Guineas in mind for him. That information from Mark Guest for Sky. So bigger things for Raptor, perhaps. The Australian Guineas could be his target through the autumn. They're set to go for the Lord Stakes. What a great horse, Lord. He was the king of Caulfield, the king of weight for age racing in Victoria for a period. Racing. And Condy's Fair will end up out the back with Rose Beat. Delirious jumped away well on the inside as El Cabello is ridden forward. Collins Street Handy with Storm Edition and New Trader, then Panoramic Lad, Rose Beat, and Condy's Fair going back to last. El Cabello goes to the lead as New Trader works up into second spot. Delirious was third, and then Collins Street and Storm Edition on the outside of it. 2.5 lengths to Panoramic Lad. Rose Beat the Fence is second last, and Condy's Fair is last. About 1,200 metres to travel, and El Cabello settles well. Bowls along 2 lengths in front. New Trader second, and Delirious was third. Then Storm Edition. Another 2 lengths away then to Collins Street. Rose Beat sneaking through on the inside of Panoramic Lad, and Condy's Fair last, 8 lengths off the leader El Cabello. Turning down the side, 900 left to travel. El Cabello a half a length in front of New Trader. 3 lengths away Delirious. Storm Edition on its outside. And then came Collins Street, Rose Beat. 2 lengths to Panoramic Lad, and another 2 lengths to Condy's Fair. Passing the 700 metres, El Cabello's travelling well. A length and a half, New Trader under pressure. Storm Edition makes ground, and then Delirious, Collins Street, Rose Beat ridden up, but just into a pocket now. And then Panoramic Lad and Condy's Fair struggling, but El Cabello is going comfortably and sprints 3 lengths in front of Delirious at the 400. Storm Edition flat out with a big weight. Rose Beat still making ground the rails. El Cabello turned well out in front of Delirious, who's 4 lengths astern, and then Rose Beat, and next Storm Edition. El Cabello nearing the 200, led 2 lengths. Delirious is making ground on him now, then Rose Beat. El Cabello by a length. Delirious is reeling him in. Delirious drawing level with El Cabello. El Cabello's got a kick left. Delirious and El Cabello are bobbing go. Very close. Delirious looked like he might have had his nose in front on the line from El Cabello, but it is a bobbing finish. 4 lengths away Rose Beat, and then came Collins Street, Panoramic Lad, Storm Edition, Condy's Fair, and New Trader. It'll go to Delirious, number 2, I'd say. Just from El Cabello, but on the line it was just a bobbing go. Stand by for the number, but it should be Delirious, I would think. El Cabello refused to give any travel well in front. Delirious really had to lift, and 2 horses that probably run their better races when the stings out of the track have fought out the finish. 2 is first. Delirious, the winner, ridden by Greg Childs, and has just pipped El Cabello. Brett Preble and Rose Beat never really looked a chance of winning, but she was always going to be in that minor money. It'll get third, number 9. 2, 3 and 9, a time of 1:49.45. And fourth in was number 7, and that was Collins Street, but well beaten. Tight go, the closest of the day, and the narrowest of victories to Delirious, 2, 3 and 9 on race 6.
Trained by Theo Green, and all the rage is number 5 Trencher here. John Hawkes, Rodney Quinn. Trencher just needs a little bit of luck from the wide alley, but has been very confidently backed on track, and on tab limited number 5 is 240 and 130. 240, 130 for 5 Trencher. The second pick, and quite a gap to number 7, and that's Bogart at $7.70 and $2.30. Summer Cup was the previous, won nicely by 3 Majestically Darren Beatman, and it defeated 6 Array of 8 Power of Pegasus, and 1 Altiro ran 4th. Now we've got Bogart to come up here with Trencher and also Chief Scout. Trencher coming forward now. Rod Quinn in the red jacket, white sleeves and white cap. They were the colours utilised by a former Leviathan bookmaker in Sydney, Ken Ranger. Mr. and Mrs. Peter Twigg have those colours now. Yes, Trencher's all the rage. 230, 130. Riderless at this point of time is Bogart. Larry Cassidy's jumped off. Put the blindfold on the Bogart, and Chief Scout, who at one stage was trained by Gay Waterhouse, is now in the stables of Gary Fraser at Hawkesbury. Trencher 2 runs back from a spell, a win at Warwick Farm, and a second out here behind Varricool. Now Attendants concentrating on Bogart. He's back down the track quite a few lengths. And the rider, I refer to Larry Cassidy, having a good look at his mount, who is in a rather cantankerous frame of mind. Majestically, of course, taking the cup. Prior to that, we had Handle Successful, as we've had Silver Lady, Sugarland, Fleecing, and a Zulu Legend. A lot of interest in the crowd figure out here this afternoon. We should have it before the last. It's quite healthy. It's been a very pleasant afternoon weather-wise. Let's hope we get that rain. It's not forecast, but boy, oh boy, for the fires. Let's hope it comes very, very quickly. Well, they've taken the blindfold off Bogart, and I wonder if that's going to do the trick. Handicap. I don't know whether there are any at-seas here. They're off. Repeated just a little slowly into stride. Mastery and Impregnable jumped out quickly. So did Bogart and Terrible Taurus. A length and a half further back in the field is Repeater picking up some ground, going between Diamond and White of Ram Raid. And then Sherwood, the favourite, is third and fourth last and very wide, or a third of Trencher. And then comes Lord Denning, Splendid Retreat, and Absolute as Chief Scout. They race along past the 1,000 marker, and Impregnable puts on the pace to lead 3/4 Mastery. Wider out is Terrible Taurus, a couple to Bogart, a length and a half Repeater, 3/4 to Ram Raid. Just over one Diamond on the inside of Sherwood, and then Lord Denning. Trencher's third last, next to last Splendid Retreat, and bringing up the rear Chief Scout. Around about 15 lengths would cover them down to the corner at the 650, and Impregnable going along at a nice clip, a length and 3/4 on Mastery, similar margin to Terrible Taurus, and over on the inside Repeater from Bogart, Ram Raid, Diamond. Lord Denning followed by Sherwood, Splendid Retreat, Trencher and Chief Scout. They straighten up now by the 400, and Impregnable is about a length clear on Mastery, followed wider out Terrible Taurus, and then comes Repeater looking for the run. Diamond, Ram Raid wider out, and right on the outside is Trencher. 150 to go. Terrible Taurus chases Impregnable from Ram Raid. It's now Terrible Taurus getting to Impregnable. Impregnable grabbed by Terrible Taurus. Impregnable, Terrible Taurus, maybe a nostril Impregnable and a ripper. And then Ram Raid followed wider out by Trencher, not a lot of luck, and a gap then to Mastery, Splendid Retreat followed home by Bogart. And then Lord Denning further away was Diamond, Chief Scout on the last couple. Sherwood on the outside, and Repeater closer to the centre of the course. Photo. Judge calling for the camera finish in race 7 today, the at-sea handicap, and a good battle here. Terrible Taurus on the outside and Impregnable. Terrible Taurus number 8 showing, and let's have a look here, $9.80 and $2.70. The inside horse fighting on particularly well. Impregnable wouldn't give in. Number 2 at $12.10 a win, and $3.20 for the place. Stand by for the result. Very, very close finish between Terrible Taurus and Impregnable. The time for the race is not there. It has the winning number. Number 8 is first, however, as it all happens on the infield board. Number 8 is first. Terrible Taurus, ridden by the informed Brad Pengelly, trained by Diane Poidevin Lane, and Barry's last run in the Christmas quality at Rose Hill, he'd been very, very consistent. Terrible Taurus by Imposing Bull from Pretty Emma, a 5-year-old chestnut gelding, and Brad Pengelly fresh from his Villiers Stakes win, and of course followed that up with Santa Fire in the race after on Saturday, winning here this afternoon. Number 2 is second, and that is Impregnable, Mark de Montfort and trainer Stephen Engelbrecht. And number 6 has run third. Ram Raid has paid $2.80. Gay Waterhouse, Brian York. Number 5 was fourth, and that was Trencher. Not a lot of luck.
Yeah, it was tight on the line, wasn't it, Ian? And it just got there. Terrible Taurus, Impregnable, Ram Raid, and the time as confirmed, to be confirmed, I should say, Randwick. And there he is, the man of the moment, young Brad Pengelly. That is the scene at Randwick, just confirming Queensland dividends. They're all in as we speak. Now, at Cheltenham, the second of their feature races, the Group 3 Port Adelaide Cup. We are 4 minutes off. Fibbers into $6.10. Afterburn $2.60 is the elect. Rusty Dusty Grey for Paul Gatt at $8.90. A check over the page. Comforts. Ben Claridge's mount $10.11 for Requiem. Horse which is at attractive odds today. Now, Caulfield ratings with Shirley's Lavina and Speaker ahead of Ocean Bridge and Gradual. 3 and 6.
$4.80 for number 3, Fibber. And then we've got, well, $10 for number 9, Comforts. They've moved in quickly. Very relaxed, these stayers. They don't play up in the gates. Very rare to see a 2,400 metre handicap field delayed by the antics of a horse, and they are all in bar for Influenza, who comes up set to run. Ready for a start. Marvellous win by Ken Cheval in the Christmas handicap. This is the Port Adelaide Cup, and they're off and racing. Tsarina ridden out hard from near the inside, but Astro Lonte first to find the rail and lead. From Rusty Dusty Grey, and Comforts is working over nicely outside them. Then Dark Banner, Tsarina. Afterburns one off the fence, but getting shuffled back a little. There's a bit of tightening here. Evans trying to slot in front of Bitsky. They came in slightly on Afterburn. Requiem went past them. Influenza's wide out in the yellow cap. And then came Blue Ted, followed by Fibber. And back to the tail of the field out of the straight was Senesy. Heading out towards the 1,800 metre mark, and Comforts took up the running, led by about a length. In second place, Rusty Dusty Grey. Third and moving around them, Requiem, having a fairly tough run. He's fighting the rider a little bit now. Quickly, Price puts him outside the leader. Then Astro Lonte in the yellow. Dark Banner getting the head up from Tsarina and Evans wide. Bitsky in the centre, Influenza deep out. Then Blue Ted, Afterburn over on the rails. Fibber's second last, and Senesy was at the tail of the field as they go by the 1,400 metre mark. It's Comforts leading by a neck. Second, Requiem. Third, Astro Lonte. Influenza on the outside of Rusty Dusty Grey, and then Tsarina to the inner of Dark Banner and Evans wider out. Blue Ted 3 deep, working around the outside of Bitsky. On the rails was Afterburn, a length away Fibber, who gives the leaders about 7, and last on the inside was Senesy. 1,100 left in the Port Adelaide Cup, and the pilots had a great run. It's Comforts leading by a half length. In second place, Requiem. Third, Astro Lonte. And then starting a run now, moving quickly around the outside was Evans. He's had a hard run, but he's going up. He's put his head in front, Evans. He's sprinting now with 900 metres to go. Rusty Dusty Grey getting a nice run in the middle from Blue Ted. Then Tsarina, Dark Banner. Fibber gets off to the outside and gets in front of Afterburn, who's held up. And it looks like Bowditch might be riding for luck on the rails, followed by Bitsky. And last was Senesy as they come towards the home turn. 600 metres to go. Evans led. He's under pressure. Now they're coming at him. Comforts again off the inside to challenge, and Comforts has raced up and taken the lead from Evans. Then Requiem, followed by Influenza. Further back, Fibber right behind them, and Afterburn's a long way back, and Bowditch has to negotiate traffic. Gives them 6 lengths with 250 to go. Comforts went to the lead from Evans, followed by Requiem, and then Astro Lonte getting into the clear and wider out. Blue Ted, Comforts the leader. Astro Lonte's getting through with Requiem, Influenza, then Blue Ted, Afterburn behind them. Astro Lonte hit the lead. It's Astro Lonte from Blue Ted getting close to home, and Astro Lonte won the Port Adelaide Cup. Beat Blue Ted. Influenza was a huge run third. Fibber close up with Requiem. Afterburn had trouble before the turn, got clear over the final stages, but couldn't make up the ground from Bitsky. Then Comforts, Evans, followed home by Dark Banner. Then Tsarina, Rusty Dusty Grey seemed to have his chance, and Senesy was amongst the last to finish in the Port Adelaide Cup.
Winning rider Jared Lorenzini, winning trainer Ken Sweeney. Astrolante, big odds, $21.40. $5.44 the place. $3.20 Blue Ted. Influenza, $5.20. 5, 4 and 7 in the Port Adelaide Cup, the co-feature this afternoon. And full dividends as soon as they're through. New South Wales, the Cornella will pay $88.30, Exacta $308.20, Trifecta $1,662.90. Randwick, their official, race 7, 8, 2 and 6. Brad Pengelly was the winning rider. Now Cheltenham, there's the photo. And behind them, the likes of Requiem, among others. 5, 4, 6.
Gates. The next one up is the favourite Ocean Bridge. Previous event won by Delirious. Just that little bit of rain about helped its chances. David Hall prepares Tsar of Prussia, who won impressively at Flemington last week, trying to get a run of the Magic Millions at 17th in order at the moment. And Mick Price has Intelligent Star set for the Carline Stakes at Moonee Valley on the 24th of Jan, before heading off for the Futurity and the All Stakes. Chattanooga will also come out in the Standish and then follow a path to the Carline. Just about set for race 7. Speaker will come up to the outside gate. Royal Thong going up now. 1,100 metres of the Alan Wicks Super Phobos handicap. Speaker, trained by Alan Bailey here at Caulfield, won really well on debut. Drew Barrier won that day. And then met some wetter tracks after that. Is first up again. It's drawn the outside. Set to go. Ocean Bridge is the favourite. Off and racing now. Amistosa was a little bit slow to begin. Shirley's Lavina with really good speed early, and so too out wider was Speaker, then Royal Ruby. Up there handy was Gradual in the early part from Diamond Diva. Ocean Bridge, Elegant Fashion drifting back with Royal Thong. Transparent Lass is fourth last, the grey nearer the rails, and Amistosa, beaten for speed, is 2 lengths away last. Shirley's Lavina and Speaker are the leaders. A length away Royal Ruby 3 wide. Gradual fourth. On its inside is Diamond Diva, then the favourite Ocean Bridge from Royal Thong. Transparent Lass is back third last, nearing the home turn. Amistosa's at the tail of the field. Elegant Fashion is second last. Around the bend, Shirley's Lavina and Speaker hotting up the tempo. A length and a half in front of Royal Ruby, and then came Gradual into the straight. It's Speaker on the outside with its head in front of Shirley's Lavina. 4 lengths to Royal Ruby. Transparent Lass. Speaker drew a half a length in front of Shirley's Lavina. 3 lengths away Gradual. Elegant Fashion making ground, but Speaker went to the lead. Elegant Fashion charging home. Speaker just in front of Elegant Fashion. Speaker won it by a neck. Speaker first. Elegant Fashion, a terrific debut, has run on very strongly from second last on the turn, was probably the run of the day. Transparent Lass third from Shirley's Lavina. Amistosa made good ground as well. Then Gradual. Next time Ocean Bridge, who was never really a chance today. Royal Ruby knocked up, and then Diamond Diva and Royal Thong. 1 minute 4.1 is the time, and Speaker sitting outside of the leader, and was pretty good first up again. It's won both its races first up from a spell. Take nothing away from the winner. It was forward and fast and strong, but the runner-up's effort was one of an E Black Booker. Put it down in the E Black Book for sure. Elegant Fashion. Didn't it charge home? A filly by Dane Wynn, trained by Tony McAvoy. So that's probably the run of the day, I'd say, Brendan, the runner-up. The placings are 6, 10 and 2 on race 7.
Yeah, very taken by the runner-up there, the Dane Wynn horse. Not forgetting the winner, Dan, but what an impressive run, that runner-up, Elegant Fashion. New South Wales, the Quinellas 48.30, Exacta 136.30, Trifecta 862.90, first 4, number 3 in 4th position, and that's Shirley's Lavina, $6,067.70. Head on, we'll tell a story now. The horse which we pointed out with the baldy face out wide is the runner-up. That's Elegant Fashion. It once getting clear ground, it stormed to the line under Mark Zara's riding. He gave it plenty of time to balance up, and it whooshed home, but take nothing away from Speaker. Very good horse that Alan Bailey puts the polish on, and Andrew Finlay rides. The stable colours you see winning at plenty of the tracks. Now, Larry Olsen.
So this is a pretty good betting race, and on the tab limited board, number 1 at 440 and 210, that's Ica Matua. Number 7 at 550 and 220, and that is Paraway and Norman's Way, a stablemate of the previous winner, namely Terrible Taurus, and like Terrible Taurus, Brad Pengelly in the saddle. Number 6 is at 810 and 280. Interesting race, the final event of the day, and they're moving in pretty well, only about 2 or 3 to be loaded. Terrible Taurus won race 7 by a whisker. Number 8, Brad Pengelly from 2 Impregnable, 6 Ram Raid and 5 Trencher ran 4th. Now Ica Matua, the favourite, is walking in. Ica Matua goes forward, and he's on fire to come up now. He's on fire, coming forward with none other than Chris Muntz in the saddle. He's in, and we're all set now. There's the red light. Ready now. They're off in the last event of the day, and the favourite was last out from his whitish alley, Ica Matua, and the well-tried Norman's Way straight to the lead from Hellenic Prince. Ripon by third. Going up quickly now is Ica Matua from Olivier, then Hayden. He's on fire, is trapped out very wide. Paraway next to last, and Absolute is O Temptation. 9.50 to travel, and Norman's Way steadied in the lead by Brad Pengelly. The break is a length and a half on Hellenic Prince, a similar gap to Ica Matua, still trapped out pretty wide. Ripon by next, Olivier's in in the middle and deeper out as He's on Fire. Hayden is third last. Second last is O Temptation. Ahead the outside Paraway. They come down the side and link up with the 650 and Norman's Way. Clear of Hellenic Prince. He's on Fire moving up. And then comes Ica Matua, followed by Rip On by Olivier. Hayden making some headway from O Temptation. And a length the Paraway, last jockey in the red jacket, white cap straightening. And Norman's Way. Pengelly gives Norman's Way a bit more rain. It's a length and a half. He's on Fire. Rip On by getting up on the inside, but quickly He's on Fire. Hits the front. Hayden goes out after him and past the distance at the 200. He's on Fire. About 3/4. Hayden, Norman's Way, Rip On by. Paraway getting home late. He's on Fire. Hayden's doing the better. Hayden draws clear and Hayden beat He's on Fire. Paraway a great return third. Then Norman's Way, Rip On by Ica Matua, followed by O Temptation, Hellenic Prince, and last of all was Olivier. Oh, gee willikers. Paraway, keep him in your book. Hayden's won the last, number 11. He's on Fire has run second, number 10. And Paraway will run third. So 11 Hayden in New South Wales, 580 and 180. Second placing to He's on Fire. It will pay 240. And the third dividend will be there in just a moment for number 7. Paraway, great return, $2.10. That.
Okay, Ian, have to leave it there. Protest news coming through Eagle Farm. Fourth against second, alleging interference, concluding stages.
Thank you, Brendan. Final Vixen goes into the line. There's only a couple out. Dolphin Dance and Captive Bird away from the line. Dolphin Dance into Odds On Super Tab. It's at $1.90. Class Act, a little bit of a nibble for it, number 5. It's a bit of value at $10.30. Outside of the favourite, Class Act has trimmed up, and Captive Bird has been solid, number 3. Noel Bracel has eased. $1.90 Dolphin Dance, $8.10 Noel Bracel, $9.10 Red Vista, $9.40 Captive Bird. $10 a Class Act is a bit of value now. It has firmed in a couple of points. Dolphin Dance, runner-up at her last 2. She goes in, and Captive Bird, the last one to go up. Race 8, the Sid Obrium handicap, is over 1,400. They're all set to go. Racing now. Jumped in a good line. A Class Act from the inside jumped well. Dolphin Dance got out of the gates well with Red Vista. They share the early lead. Noel Bracel in the pink and black colours going up wider into third spot from Bell Red, and then came on the inside a Class Act from Quietly Adamant. The grey is Captive Bird second last, and Final Vixen last. About 1,000 metres to travel. Red Vista starting to reef a little bit in front. Half length to Dolphin Dance. Bell Red going up wide, and Noel Bracel. So there's nearly a line of 4. 4 lengths away a Class Act as Captive Bird went by it, and Quietly Adamant was in the centre, and Final Vixen is 2 lengths away last. Down the side of the track, passing the 800, and it's Red Vista on the inside of Noel Bracel. Bell Red planted 3 wide. Dolphin Dance was able to take the trail behind them, and then Captive Bird, who's worked up into the race stylishly from a Class Act and Final Vixen, and Quietly Adamant giving ground as they round the turn. Red Vista just in front of Noel Bracel. Bell Red's had a tough run. A Class Act is pushed along, but getting a gap. Dolphin Dance has held up. She's in the wrong part behind those horses. She'll lose about 2 lengths there. A Class Act got the run and joined Red Vista. Final Vixen trying to get into the clear, then Bell Red, Dolphin Dance. It's a Class Act in front of Bell Red. Dolphin Dance gets out now. A Class Act in front. Bell Red still coming at it, but it's a Class Act about a half a length in front of Bell Red, who's making a dive. A Class Act won it. A Class Act beat Bell Red, I think.